Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenn Rashipura. In the news tonight, Prime Minister Sarakugongwela Amadila is currently busy visiting the flood-affected areas in Ohangwena region. The Prime Minister was told by the leadership of the region that the flood situation is becoming critical and fast solutions are needed. The Windhoek City Council's decision-making ability and activities have become severely constrained after a second attempt to assemble the important Management Committee MC failed against last week. Now, according to the city's legal representative Ngatute Kandovadu, the fact that only 3 councillors were elected to the committee means that it is not sufficiently constituted and therefore will not be able to make valid decisions. He explains that a majority of issues on which the City Council must deliberate are first referred to them by the Management Committee. Now, agenda items cannot be considered, and all the items that the Council sends back to the committee also stand still. Ordinary items must go through the committee, although some items can be brought directly from the municipal management to the Council's attention. It is essential that the committee be fully formed as soon as possible, he said at last week's special meeting to fill the 2 outstanding seats. Opposition politicians on the City Council again rejected all nominations for those who could serve on the committee. Now, at the previous meeting, the National Unity Democratic Organization's NUDO's Joseph Wapingene was elected as mayor. Now, one of the men who was sentenced to 12 years in prison last year after being convicted on drug smuggling charges intends to appeal the guilty verdict. Grant Noble has submitted an application to be granted leave to appeal his conviction at the High Court in Windhoek. He appeared before Judge Orban Sibeya on Thursday. Now, Noble and Dina Azar were both found guilty last year on a charge of cocaine smuggling, but were acquitted of a charge of money laundering. 5 years of their 12-year sentence were suspended as they have been in custody since 2018. They would therefore effectively serve 7 years in prison post-conviction. The first few years of a child's lives are critical for their development. They begin to make sense of communication, physical growth, and social, emotional, and cognitive development. Educational toys often assist in these areas. The Amos Meerkat Syllabus AMS, a project supported by the Capricorn Foundation, focusing on early childhood development, partnered with Capricorn Group's #Changemaker, which is an employee volunteerism program called on employees of the group to knit miniature dolls during the festive season, of which over 250 dolls were made and donated. The AMS project requires thousands of these dolls annually for educational purposes at preschool centers and collects dolls throughout the year from willing donors. The dolls are used as tools for moral teachings and to train young children to recognize and speak out against abuse. In our story of the day, we take a look at the SADC extraordinary meeting of the Troika Ministerial Committee.
Kom kuier gerus elke Vrydag aan saam met Arjougaard, waar hy vooruitskouing doen van wat op die sportvelde reg oor die wêreld gaan plaasvind. Daar word op die naweek se top internasionale sportgeleenthede gefokus en plaaslike sport in Namibië asook Suid-Afrika word in oënskou geneem. Die kenners praat saam en huidige asook oud spelers gee hul mening en ons hoor grootlik sommer uit die spreekwoordelike perd se bek. Niemand weet met sekerheid wat die naweek op die sportveld gaan gebeur nie, maar iemand weet wel watter faktore die uitslae kan beïnvloed. Ons praat met daardie iemand wat weet, en soms word geheim ook uitgelaat. Vrydaande is ons in die tonnel gereed om uit te draf. Dit is jou Vrydag afspraak wat jou ingelig gaan hou alvordat die spelers uit die tonnel opdraf. Sport is ons passie, sien jou in die tonnel.
In our story of the day, the SADC extraordinary meeting of the Troika Ministerial Committee is currently underway in Windhoek. South Africa International Relations Minister Neladi Pandor and her Bambadian counterpart Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah are those in attendance. The SADC organ on politics, defense and security cooperation was established in 2001 as an institution of the SADC responsible for promoting peace and security in the SADC region. Let's take a look.
This is your meeting today will receive among others progress on the finalization of the review process of the SADC contingency plan on the implementation of the joint strategy on the progressive and phased drawdown of Oneuptwo. With regards to Eswatini, it may be recalled, Honourable Ministers, that your last meeting made decisions on how to progress with the political and security situation in the kingdom. We still believe that a national dialogue remains fundamental to ease tensions and find a common and amicable solution to the challenges in the kingdom. In this regard, we remain hopeful that this meeting today and tomorrow's summit will provide lasting and progressive solutions to assist the kingdom to make meaningful strides towards a national engagement. Honourable Ministers, in conclusion, I wish to assure you that your Secretariat, which I head, remains committed to supporting your efforts in ensuring a resilient peace and security architecture in the region. With these remarks, I wish to humbly invite Honourable Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of this great republic, and our current chairperson of the Ministerial Committee of the organ, to deliver opening remarks.
Our meeting, as usual, was presided by the Ministerial Committee of the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation, where the countries concerned provided a briefing on the current situation in their countries. Of course, during that time, we have learned as much as good progress has been made, there was still much that needs to be done for us to ensure that peace and security is maintained in our region.
Yolanda Nel talks to Cancer Association of Namibia CEO Rolf Hansen and Gerhard Swartz, responsible for fundraising initiatives, about the upcoming International Cancer Awareness Day.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and Oneuptwo.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Allgemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are joined with the Cancer Association. We are talking to Rolf and with Gerhardus. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Always a pleasure being here.
Rolf, on the 4th of February we are celebrating International Cancer Awareness Day. Tell us about this initiative.
So World Cancer Awareness Day is all about the global initiative, the global community. All of us is affected by cancer, and joined by the global community to make a difference. We all have a difference that we can make. It's about creating awareness, it's about understanding this disease better, it's about fighting for solidarity and equality in healthcare. And this year we continue with the campaign asking what can I as the individual do to make a difference in the fight on cancer. So this 4th of February, we're asking you, dear viewers at home, what can you do about the fight on cancer? How can you be the difference? Whether it is giving a handshake, giving a hug, making a donation, a pledge, or standing in solidarity and asking for better health care and resources in our country to fight cancer better. This is what it's all about.
Gerard, you're new to the Cancer Association team. Can you tell us your journey? What has it been like working for the Cancer Association?
Well, yes, indeed, it was a very hectic journey, I must say. I started in August last year, and yes, it was very hectic. I started in the busiest time of the year, with when all the events kick off. So yes, but the journey has been amazing. I have learned so much from Rolf, from the entire team, and being involved with the cancer patients as well. I've had the opportunity to have live interviews with them as well, and that was I think was the highlight of the 4-5 months that I've been there. But overall and above, I think I'm at the right place now, where I should be, and giving back to people who need it.
When we talk about cancer, yes, there are stories of hope, but generally it's very emotionally heavy. How do you work to not take all that emotion onto yourself?
So I think from a management point of view, we try to buffer the rest of the team a lot. But we try to engage, we try to speak, and we have debriefing sessions as well. We have got an in-house counselor, Thelma, who comes and speaks, and if you are truly overwhelmed, especially our Circle of Hope team and the psychosocial support team, they have a really daunting task. We are 3 people in the country, Sister Rachel Tredeker, Thelma and I, who actually go out and prepare the family and the patient when the cancer treatment is not successful and death is the only outcome. So we prepare with the pre-grieving and everything. That is, I think, the sad part of our job, especially when we lose the children, our babies. And we have to debrief, and I think this is something that we all have to recognize, that because you have been born, you must die. But it's a matter of how we pass on from this stage to the next. It's the journey.
In economic news, after the break, we look at the many uncertainties in the oil market. To stay with us.
Oneuptwo brings community news in the Orongo region. For news-related or advertising queries, contact irongotalk@synergy.com.na. Orongo Talk, our community, your news.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
Getting into our economic news, many uncertainties surrounding oil demand and supply will continue to influence oil prices in unexpected ways, the Ministry of Mines and Energy said. With the reopening of the Chinese economy, the global oil demand is predicted to rise to at least 101.7 million barrels per day, and many oil suppliers will be capitalizing on that by offsetting higher demand through higher prices. The market is also bracing itself for new shocks due to the introduction of the European Union's embargo on Russian oil, the ministry pointed out. FIN24 recently reported that from February 5th, The European Union, the G7 and its allies will attempt to impose a cap on the price of Russia's fuel exports, the latest punishment for its invasion of Ukraine that will coincide with an EU prohibition on almost all imports of Russian oil products. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 21.50 to the pound and at 18.91 to the euro. It trades at 17.38 to the US dollars and 2 Namibian dollars and 57 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Gold is up with 0.26% and Brent crude is up 0.14%, trading at 86 US dollars and 78 cents per barrel. In the international slot, we look at the alleged suicide bomber who killed 32 at a mosque in Pakistan.
Namibia's hospitality is as vibrant as its people. Join the What's Cooking team as they travel the country cooking, chatting, and celebrating local personalities and the joy of food. If you think you have a standout offering, whether it's a restaurant, bar, pop-up event, or braai stand, get in touch with the What's Cooking team at cooking@synergy.com.na and we will be there to show the world what's cooking. Programs air every Friday at 4 p.m. on all the NMH Facebook platforms, as well as on NTV, Dstv channel 285, and Gotv channel 94 at 9 p.m.
A suicide bombing at a crowded mosque in Pakistan, Peshawar, killed at least 32 people on Monday, the latest attack targeting police in this northwestern city where Islamist militants remain active. Footage showed a large crowd of people gathered around the mosque with piles of debris strewn on the ground and barrier tape cordoning them off. Reuters reports that no one has claimed responsibility for the bombing, which ripped through during noon prayers, causing a wall to collapse on top of worshippers. The building is located inside a highly fortified compound that includes the headquarters of the provincial police force and a counter-terrorism department. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has called the blast the city's worst since March last year, a suicide attack. There were at least 260 people in the mosque, police official Sikandar Khan added. After the break, we take a look at the weather.
Sport Wrap is a daily show focusing on all sport news and current affairs. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact sportwrap@synergy.com.na.
Let's get into your weather predictions. Thunder showers are expected in Anana, Sumep and Omaruru, while overcast conditions are expected in Windhoek and Gotv. Keetmanshoop and Adamsvlei will be hot with an expected high of 38 degrees, while some sun can be enjoyed at the coast. In the sports section tonight, we take a look at boxing and netball news.
In Business 7, you get news on current economic, financial, and business matters in Namibia. The weekly show features interviews with experts and in-depth analysis of burning issues in a way that caters for ordinary Namibians and business connoisseurs alike. For news-related or advertising queries, please contact b7@synergy.com.na.
The My.NA Cars Show provides viewers with the best in-class cars content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest cars-related news, products, and services. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Cars, more than just a ride.
The Namibia Kickboxing Federation, NKF, the local umbrella body for disciplines such as mixed martial arts and Muay Thai, among others, announced resignation from the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, IMMAF. The IMMAF constitution in Article 11 states that any member can leave at any time, provided that they have no outstanding liabilities. Resignation is also effective immediately as soon as it is received by the IMMAF administration, and any member's fees paid will not be refunded. Now, Netball South Africa NSA President Cecilia Molokwane has confirmed that the Proteas will attend a special training camp in Australia next month. The Proteas will go to Australia for a month for a training camp and play in a tournament against the local teams. It is a special request from coach Norma Plummer. She promised the players an intense netball training camp there. They identified 4 players not part of the original Proteas squad to accompany them to get the much needed experience, but it would incur more costs not part of the original budget. The Proteas finished bottom of the recently concluded quad series at the Cape Town International Convention. Now, new Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic said on Monday he hopes to return to action in a month's time, but is not sure how quickly his injured hamstring will heal. After the break, we take a look at your highlights. Do stay with us.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
The Regional Review brings you news, views, and interviews from NMH correspondents from across the country. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact regional@synergy.com.na.
Let's get into your news highlights. The Windhoek City Council's decision-making ability and activities have become severely constrained after a second attempt to assemble the important Management Committee MC failed again last week. According to the city's legal representative, Gotv, the fact that only 3 councillors were elected to the committee means that it is not sufficiently constituted and therefore will not be able to make valid decisions. He explained that a majority of issues on which the City Council must deliberate are first referred to them by the Management Committee. Many uncertainties surrounding oil demand and supply will continue to influence oil prices in unexpected ways, the Ministry of Mines and Energy said. With the reopening of the Chinese economy, the global oil demand is predicted to rise to at least 101.7 million barrels per day, and many oil suppliers will be capitalizing on that by offsetting higher demand through higher prices. The Namibia Kickboxing Federation, NKF, the local umbrella body for disciplines such as mixed martial arts and Muay Thai, among others, announced resignation from the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, IMMAF. The IMMAF constitution in Article 11 states that any member can leave at any time, provided that they have no outstanding liabilities. Resignation is also effective immediately as soon as it is received by the IMMAF administration, and any membership fees paid will not be refunded. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms, on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on Dstv channel 285 and Gotv channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.